This isn't a sponsored video, and I don't usually do tech reviews on this channel, but I'm going to make an exception for these because I've been using them for about, 3-4 months now, and they're so good that I just wanted to share them with you. For me, they were able to turn any space into a quiet home office, and for that they've been absolutely indispensable. I really like them. There are a couple of downsides, so I'm going to mention those first. The first one is the price, right? These cost me £349, which is about $475. Now, I think that is a huge price to pay for a pair of headphones. I have my reasons for buying them, and I'll explain those later, but that price would have put me off if it hadn't been for the circumstances that I was in. And the other thing about them is, and I've got a pair here, when I put them on, they're very comfortable, but after a while they get a bit uncomfortable. Across this band here, when they've been on for a few hours, it starts to dig in your head at the top there, and I find I have to move them. So maybe 2-3 hours, they're comfortable to wear, but if you wanted to wear them all day, I think you would struggle to do that. Those are the only cons. Everything else is fantastic. And I'm going to tell you more about them now. So I bought these headphones because I live in quite a small house and I have a very noisy family. And it's been a year where I've had to work from home the whole time, and everyone's been at home because of the lockdown, and I don't have a room that I can work in that's away from where everybody else is. And the only alternative I had really, well, there were a couple. I either had to get an office somewhere, which was difficult to do because of the lockdown and expensive, or I could get an office in the garden or a shed or something like that. Now, both those options were really costly. They were going to cost me a few £1,000s. So the alternative of spending a few £100s on a pair of headphones for me made sense, which is why I bought them. So those were the circumstances that led to me buying them. But I wasn't sure whether they would work. I wasn't sure whether the noise cancelling abilities of these headphones would be enough. So it was a bit of a gamble. But it turns out that everything I'd read about these headphones was correct. Their noise cancelling ability, which was the thing I most wanted, is superb. It doesn't completely cancel out the noise of family members shouting across the house to each other, but it goes a long way to doing that. And things like kitchen noises and motors and humming and that kind of stuff. I mean, the humming of motors and of electrical equipment and just general background noise is completely cancelled out. I can still hear conversations that people are having, but they're so muffled that they don't interrupt my work. For me, they were able to turn any space into a quiet home office, and for that they've been absolutely indispensable. Although noise cancellation was really the only reason I bought them, I've noticed a few other things that I really like and I just wanted to tell you about. So for example, when you take them off, they pause whatever you're listening to and then they resume it when you put them back on. And if you take them off and leave them off for a little while, they switch off, so you don't have to remember to switch them off. You can connect them to 2 devices. So I usually have them connected to my laptop and my phone, which means I can listen to things on my laptop, but I can receive calls on my phone when I need to. The call quality on the phone isn't always very good, but it's acceptable. The other thing, you can cup your hand over one of the ears if you want to talk to someone, and it switches off the noise cancelling function, which is quite useful. There are touch-sensitive controls on the right speaker where you can control volume. There's play and pause and forward and back. I sometimes find play and pause a little fiddly. It doesn't always work when I want it to straight away. But apart from that, those controls are useful and they work well. The sound quality is pretty good too. Now, I have quite an eclectic taste and listen to a range of different music, from Bach's Brandenburg concertos to choral music, jazz, and even occasionally a bit of Taylor Swift. But I've always been quite impressed by the sound quality. You probably wouldn't buy these headphones just for the sound quality alone. You buy them for the noise cancelling, but you won't be unimpressed by the sound quality. It's pretty good. They come with a nice protective hard case, which is a little bit big, but should still fit into a backpack. So if you need a really good pair of noise cancelling headphones, and you can justify the cost, then I'd really recommend them.